Yeah, David again, no Jura. Ah, boy. Now but don't worry. Jesus Christ say he love you, say he love you plenty. Don't know why we worry when we pocket empty. Jesus Christ provider, he provided we needs. Yeah, why we are worried when friends and family don't love we. Jesus Christ comfort is closer than family. We are okay once he right beside me. Yeah, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Once God is for you, no one can be against. Stand up tall and walk through life by faith. Yeah, yeah, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Just be happy, just be happy. See them problems that you sit and worry about. Making plans, thinking what you're gonna do. You never stop to ask for your father's help. Putting real drama in your life right through. What you been through, you not alone. Say you have a king. Put him by your side, he will never transcend. Don't even try to pretend, yes. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Once God is for you, no one can be against. Stand up tall and walk through life by faith. Yeah, yeah, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. Just be happy, just be happy. Me a shot, everything me need, say me father already got. Cup full right up, yeah, cup full right up. It don't have nothing for me, I feel worry about, yeah. Me a shot, everything me need, say me father already got. Cup full right up, yeah, cup full right up. It don't have nothing for me, I feel worry about, yeah. Don't worry, don't worry, don't worry.
Alright, so we're back inside. Bijan, I don't know why you're still showing up sideways too. But
Yeah, David again, no Jura. Ah, boy. Now but don't worry. Jesus Christ say he love you, say he love
Alright.
you plenty. Don't know
so
why
we could go now.
Whoa.
Yeah, that was a struggle day, boy.
We inside?
Yeah, we back inside. We back inside.
Alright. Let me share the new link on Facebook.
Whoa. You know, it's our one day, boy.
Oh,
I don't understand what was that, but God is good.
yeah. With the internet service like
Nice
it
one.
builds up.
But we back inside.
We back inside. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, well, the reason was
Alright. So
I'm going to talk about
this is your say.
what is being burnt up. Oh, how do you get burnt up?
I know you're David.
You hear us?
My mic, something with echoing. I'm not sure why that happened.
Okay, I think everybody back inside, you know. Bijan, you alright?
Yeah.
Alright, well, yeah. So, David, you inside?
Yeah, I'm inside.
Alright, cool.
Nicely. Right, so Bijan, you was about to
Can I call this frozen? So?
No, we good. We good.
Oh,
We good.
okay. That's why I cried. That's
No,
how
we
I
good,
cried
we
just
good,
now,
we good.
watching one and everybody.
No, we good.
Nice.
So you can.
Yeah, so what I
you
was
can go
saying
ahead.
is before we get into burnout, I mean, the other parts of burnout, like you talk about what is caused burnout. I
Right.
mean, we have three different point of views here. For me, what I can say, man, sometimes when I don't manage things properly or organize things properly.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm not seeing projects knocking off, and I feel like projects just piling on top of projects. That has been my problem, boy. When that started to happen, I literally just shut down the computer and go and lie down. Yeah, go and take a little lie down, scroll a little social media because you understand.
Yeah.
And that what I can say to that is to the people who listening is you need to set proper deadlines and realistic deadlines. Yeah, and you need to know when you're taking on certain projects, not to just do it because yeah, you could probably do it if if it's just a regular in and of itself you can do it. But doing that project now with other projects that you already have and not completed, you wouldn't really get to fully execute. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, boy. So that has been my problem. The management sometimes and the favors and helping this one and that one. Whew,
Yeah,
it is
this
hurt
one is a
sometimes.
favor. Man, a favor, man.
It is hurt sometimes.
And for me, sometimes I try to put it in perspective for me. I think I have a
Mm-hmm.
sometimes like earlier on in my life, I think I had a kind of a drive that's not realistic. But that drive came from a sense
Mm-hmm.
of kind of desperation and feeling like I don't have a choice. I say I have a strong desire to accomplish my goals. And
Yeah.
I just feel like I really had no choice. So some of the things that I found myself doing, I really didn't want to do, but I didn't have no choice. So, but I had to do it to accomplish that particular goal. So I started to take on a lot of things,
Mm-hmm.
like multiple things at the same time, and it got very overwhelming for me. So
Right.
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes it could become a obsession to accomplish things, not realistic. You're judging yourself too harshly, taking on so much that you know you're not equipped to do at the time. Trying to do things on by
Mm-hmm.
yourself. A lot of the times that's our big problem. We anything come our way like in the beginning of like any of my businesses or any business, you're taking anything
Anything
and
come.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
anything come you're taking timelines. You want to roll over things quick. Certain things will take you probably a week to do. You're telling clients, oh, I could get, I'll give it back in 2 3 days. Crazy thing. So people get
Mm-hmm.
accustomed to that kind of quick delivery, so they're expecting that from you all the time. Yeah, and it really can
Mm-hmm.
become an obsession, and you will run down your body. You ain't sleeping. You're up late in the night, just beating, as we say, grinding. That hustle, that go getter
Mm-hmm.
mentality is. I think it's become a plague and become very destructive to our bodies, our mental health, our spiritual health,
Marriage.
physical
Mm-hmm.
health, marriage,
Do you
definitely.
whisper it?
Yeah, yeah. It didn't come out loud. It's a marriage.
Yeah, and I honestly do have a
Oh.
passion to achieve those things. And I feel like if I do it, I go I don't sleep. I feel like I will physically die if I don't
Mm-hmm.
accomplish my goals. So I just a lot of like creative people's mentality that they had to go, they had to get it. And it becomes very destructive to you. It's not healthy, it's not sustainable. It's not something you would be able to keep up with. And
Mhm.
eventually your body will crash and your work will suffer too. the creativity will suffer. Remember in the early when you started certain things and that creative juice is flowing, and now it becomes kind of going through the motions and stuff. So just a couple days ago, me and Kishel was talking about like being grateful, having gratitude to the Lord, and looking at your blessings. It may not be many, but look back and see, hey, you have this, you have that. You may not, you may not be totally happy with where you're at. You want to accomplish most of, but it's always good to
Mm-hmm.
look at what you have accomplished, what you have gotten. God has blessed you, and be contented, even though you're still striving to work towards something better. So
Mm-hmm.
you gotta really think about that because there's a really a culture about grinding and going at it hard. I have that. I have that. Like when one thing finish, I want to go and do the next thing. I thinking about the next thing. I writing down stuff. I have a whole list. The notes on my phone full up. My notepad full up. Things that you want to do and you just want to go and it kind of going through the motions and not really kind of you're not enjoying it or looking at what you have accomplished. So that is something that also contributes to you becoming burnt out and what causes that burnt out feeling. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's the way it is, and that for me that is what happened to me multiple times. You know?
Mm-hmm. I think for me is um not planning properly, or well, not making a proper plan could get you in real trouble. Um, I'm, a-
Mm-hmm.
the the water right by my neck here right now. Just like it may cover me if I don't watch myself. Because again, if
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a proper plan, things will start piling up, right? So for me as a producer, is one of the goals that I've set this year is timelines.
Yeah.
Timelines. I must have timelines. And if you have timelines, you're being realistic about it as well. Um, so you don't want to say you're dropping a rhythm today, and next week Saturday you're dropping a next rhythm, and the following Saturday, no, 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 no. One rhythm is about 7 men. Where you getting time to mix? Let me be realistic about it. So I think setting
Mm-hmm.
deadlines, setting release dates, when you're going to do, what you're going to do. These are the simple things you need to chart out. We have access to our smartphones, so like our calendars. And if we don't
Mm-hmm.
use these things on the phones and like make use of it, we will hurt ourselves real bad. So deadlines, being realistic, and yeah, just do the thing. Stay within the deadline. Things do change, but just stay within there. Work hard, not hard, but work smart. Yeah, and I think you'll
Mm-hmm.
be all right. So last year I would have, last year into this year I would have been burnt out because I wanted to release a rhythm since wait since August last year. It didn't release until
Mm-hmm.
this year. Christmas, all Christmas, sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I was sick with COVID, but I mean, when January came in, I said, nah, the first week in January, we go and hit it off. What? The thing didn't release until the last Saturday in January. So being realistic, I think sometimes it helps. Yeah. So
Yeah.
those are the things that could contribute to be like to being burnt out.
I think
Mm-hmm.
one of the things too, Judah and Bijan, is
Mm-hmm.
sometimes a lot of people look at what other people doing and say, hey, like if you look at Judah,
Mm-hmm.
Judah is releasing. rhythm upon rhythm, songs upon songs, hit after hit. And you probably now starting off or probably doing the same thing like him and think and watching, yeah, but Judah real putting in that work, but I had to step my game up.
Yeah.
That could cause that could cause you to do too much. Go outside of your own element on what you're doing and try to compete with what Judah doing or what
Yeah.
somebody else doing. And you put yourself in unnecessary trouble, unnecessary expense, or put yourself in so much workload that you cannot function properly. So it's always important to not look at what everybody else is doing. You have a
David, I
plan,
think
stick
it
with your
would.
plan.
Sorry to cut you, but I think it would saying that again because I would have heard that on numerous occasions. Wait, I see everybody releasing song, boy. The year start, me I release nothing.
Yeah.
Put yourself on. Most of the times when you hear the songs, when it finish, you definitely know this was a rush song. It was rushed. It wasn't really settled. So I think that point that you made is a really strong point there. Don't watch and compete,
Yeah.
or watch
Focus on,
and try to do the same thing. Mm-mm.
yeah. Or try to do things to prove to people like, hey, I could do this. You know?
You'll burn out yourself.
You, you put yourself in unnecessary strain and conflict sometimes. You're trying to prove people wrong. Prove yourself right where you know what you can do. If you have a plan and a vision for what you want to do, work on that plan. Don't get distracted by the outside influences. Of course, you could look at other people and be encouraged that, oh yeah, they're doing that, but yeah, I had to do some work. But don't try to compete and just try to do just to keep up.
Yeah.
Work with what you have and work with what
Yeah.
you can do, and eventually you'll reach that stage. I believe sometimes you're looking at somebody's
And
victory and
to
you're seeing their growth. But that's where they're at. You're looking at the high points and looking at it and saying that, oh boy, I need to put in more work. Take your time, move easy. You will get there at some point. Go ahead, Bishop. You're saying something.
and to just add to what and just add to what you're saying, or to say it in a different way. There's always say this in terms of school, there's judge everybody or measure everybody in the education wise based on the same criteria, you know.
Yeah.
But I remember a picture I saw sometime of an elephant, a snail, a snake. I know all these animals have different features that they're great at and that they're not great at. Yeah. An elephant can climb a tree, but a snake probably could. You know what I
True.
mean? And each one of them, if they're looking at each other, trying to measure up to each other, they will obviously stress out themselves and burn out themselves because, I mean, he's a snake, he's not elephant. And I'm sorry, I'm using snake or it's a negative thing to say snake, but I just want to say it. But you you can pull down a tree, an elephant could pull down a tree. You know what I mean? And it crosses over to us in the creative field as well. When you doing something, um, do you find you work within your realm? Don't look left and right because when you get a burnout, even if you want to, you can't make a move. You can't do nothing. When that burnout hits you, so you just wanna rock back and like everything on pause.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a
your
tough
work
place to
start
be.
to suffer too. Your work start to suffer too. The quality start to
Yeah.
suffer because obviously you will be rushed. You're not really
But
motivated. You're tired.
you know, I'm not the judge of it. Um, but when you listen to music from artists, and not just Trini artists, but artists on the whole,
Mhm.
when you listen to the music that they release early on, they the type of dedication and sacrifice and that level
Mm.
of running over the lyrics, making sure proofreading it, making sure it line up with the word, thing. Now,
Mm-hmm.
because we compete and we look at the neighbor, you find that instead of increasing the quality of the music, it started to diminish because you're burnt out, but you're still working inside there. I want us to
Mm.
I want to ask all a question. Like, how do we
Mm-hmm.
work during that process? Well, while we burnt out. Should as an artist, when you're burnt out, should you be writing songs? As a producer, should you be, you're pushing yourself. You know nothing you're coming. You know you're receiving no vibe. You're getting nothing, but you're pushing yourself. How I don't know how
Right.
all of us do it.
For me, how I would approach that, my mantra is always put, well, as from a songwriting point of view, my
Mhm.
mantra is always put life in a song, and that is what I just try to do. If I feeling off, I go and write a off song. And not to say the song gonna be off, but
Yeah.
the theme of the song going and deal with basically burnout. You understand? We had to find a way to function in the burnout. You had to find a way to function in the fumes. You understand what I'm saying? It's like yeah, if you stay down and do nothing, then nothing will get done. Like literally, if you just sit down when you fall down, you're going to stay there. 10 minutes from that time, you're gonna be there. So if you just start making baby steps, even if the song I try to write, I know it's gonna be loud. Music is my avenue to escape. You know what I mean? So even if after I finish with that track, I'm going to be better for it mentally afterwards. That is one of my methods.
For me,
Mhm.
Bijan, I think with that burnout, I don't know for you guys, but I
Mm,
think your spiritual life have a big effect on that. I think you have to take a break
mm,
because sometimes
mm,
when I go in too hard on certain things, I wouldn't say that my spiritual life suffer, but I don't spend much time as
Mhm.
I usually do on my
Mhm.
spiritual life because I had to get this work done. I
mm.
had to finish this video. I had to finish this project, and I think that is something that we need to do some introspection on and refocus. Spend more time with God. Say, hey, put on that. Schedule also some your personal time. Don't answer every call, every message. I know a man Bijan does do me that. Change your surroundings a little bit. You know, go a little hike. Get enough sleep. Sleep is an important thing. You have to because you know that your body
David looked like
David
he got cut
disappeared
off.
anyway.
Yeah, but we go pick up. We go pick up from where you left off.
Yeah, but it's
I,
true what you're saying. Yeah,
mhm.
you in
sorry
control of your
about that,
time.
brother.
Yeah, David,
My bad.
welcome back.
My bad. My
Welcome
hand
back.
click off there. Ah, my bad, fellas. Yeah, I was saying that that spiritual life is so important too. Because you had to be connected with the Lord too. Sometimes we get caught up in like what we do. You get
Mhm.
caught up in doing the work of the Lord, but we're not spending time with the Lord. That could happen. I
Of
know that has
course.
happened to a lot of pastors and ministers.
Hmm.
You're doing God's work,
Yeah.
but you ain't really spending that quality time with God and your family. and yet that throw you off your whole that whole balance gone.
You're
So
doing it on E.
yeah, but in the back of your mind, I'm doing God's work, I'm doing music, I'm doing things, spiritual things,
Mhm.
but I throw you off. So you have to be very aware of what you're doing. It could be working for God,
Mm-hmm.
but He ain't working in you, you know.
High point, high point. Yeah. I think the spiritual side of it, it a lack of it, a lack of like attending to it, it will burn out. It will burn you out. I want to stress on that again. A
Mm-hmm.
lack of attending to the spiritual side of you, it will lead you to being
Mm-hmm.
burnt out, because some of the things that you will be
Mm-hmm.
driven by is the fans, the likes, the work of itself, just wanting to be out there. All these are distractions that the enemy would try. He would start sending your way, and if you don't
Mm-hmm.
deal with that thing, it will lick you down. Being honest, some of the things that would have attacked me very early on, as a young producer, is wanting to be out there. I can't wait to be out there. And that thing just had me working, working. No, as David say, you're doing things for the Lord, but you really are doing it for God to get the glory, you know. You're doing it for you to get the glory.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the bottom line to that is being burnt out. You will get burnt out because you will do things outside of the grace that God has afforded you with. Each of us have a grace. Each of us have a measure, a measure. So Bijan wouldn't be you may not see Bijan producing like how I producing, because he have a special grace to do what he does. And I think sometimes if we don't understand what is we assignment, and why Christ would have us in a certain place, you would be looking left
Mm-hmm.
and you would be looking right, and it's like, wait, yes, you'll be young going, nah, nah, nah. David, boy, nah, nah, nah. I can't get leave out. You're mad. That thing will burn you out. Yeah. Hmm. So
Yeah,
free to go ahead.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
So that would happen there. Yeah, always goes back to stop looking at other people and trying to
Yeah.
compete with people. It will throw you off. Focus
Hmm.
on what you have to do, what God called you to do, and work within your circle to accomplish your goal. And it will work out in the end, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Hmm.
We all have different timing. It's a different timing and different abilities, and trying
Seasons.
to compete is something that really could drive you crazy too.
Hmm.
And don't forget what you're doing, why you're doing this. You know, this could apply to anything in life outside of the whole music thing and creative thing and content and everything. For me, I really trying to just focus on the vision and the mission and take it easy. Don't.
Mm-hmm.
Just lost him again. Yeah, man. Well, but
David. But what I wanted to add after David there was
mhm.
sometimes you have to remember why you're doing what you're doing, eh? Why you start doing it in the first place.
So Dorian asked a
To
question.
refocus here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome back, boy.
Yeah.
Also the question
No. What was the question?
said, as a producer slash manager, how difficult it is to tell an artist that he slash she is burnt out and they need to take a break.
Um. being the producer. Read the question again. Read the question again.
Yeah, read it again. My mic
As
was giving trouble just
All
now.
right, as a producer slash manager, how difficult is it to tell an artist that he slash she is burnt out and they need to take a five, refresh, and come again? I don't think that are hard for me to do. I will say that if I believe that's the I will I will straight up tell you take a break, yeah, let rock back, but yeah, don't rush it. And like sometimes we had some stuff.
It depends on the person too. Yeah?
Yeah, I will tell you. I'll telling you, it had this like sometimes we feel like, oh, but if I can get this done now, I don't think I'll get it done.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
timing is
Yeah.
everything. The Lord's timing. Sometimes that probably is a sign that oh, you need to take
In
a break.
relation to in relation to the how to tell a artist or whoever that they burnt out. Yeah. That for me, I it depends on the person. It
Oh,
depends on
well,
the
I
person
am I
because
am speaking
this
I am speaking
I've
about
had experiences.
Bijan. I'm speaking about the people that I
Hmm.
know, in 10 strings. I'm not talking about no random artist on the streets. So go and
No, but
tell
remember
me.
we talking about the things
Yeah,
in
oh, right.
general.
Well, let me
In general.
clarify that. The people I'm talking about is that I know
That you know,
and
yeah.
I have a relationship
Okay.
with that person. It's important to have a relationship. You just can't come out of the blue and tell a man, hey boy, you burnt out, you're songing, it ain't slapping. Can't go and tell people that off the streets. You need to have a
It
relationship with
is
people.
slapping.
Nah, but that one was off, boy. Do that at productions, songing flat,
Hmm.
boy. Going on,
Yo,
boy.
I remember
Hmm.
I remember some things and I could only talk about it. Like, even trusting the process as well. You touch on that point as well. Um, for me, I had to know you for me to tell you, yo, that thing, you're elbowed out. Because you see, sometimes David, sometimes the artists of their own side. Remember they singing in the bathroom over and over, singing the song, and it's singing good in there. Again, the little reverb in the bathroom and the singing. So when they bring it for we to do now, for we to turn around now and say, yo, you're tired.
Hmm.
The song tired.
Yeah, but that's a tough thing to
Nine
hear.
out of 10 times, you would produce the song and the song may not release, but you may go through the production of it, but it may not release. And maybe like some months down the road, the artists hear it and like, wait, nah, I, I, I had to record that again, boy.
Hmm.
Yeah, I had to record that again. Most
Hmm.
most times it does end up like that. The song doesn't release at all. Now it have some songs
Hmm.
does get away. I could only I mean it has some songs does get away. It on the airwaves. And you hear the song and you know the song them tired. It tired. But again,
Hmm.
I can't be the judge of that. Most times at the redemption, I just get real tired on the project and just tell the artist, listen, it coming in. But right now I ain't feeling the vibe. That's one thing I try to do as so
Hmm.
being the producer, you still have a little control. So even when you tell the artist, hey, you're burnt out, you could simply say, yo,
Hmm.
I am feeling the vibes on this, but we could work, but I just am feeling the vibes right now. I ain't think it ready to go yet.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day too, like bread and butter too. And I'm going I'm going away too. So I mean, come on. Come on. So I think just leaving the project let rest, it does a whole lot. It does a whole lot. Mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
Type bread and
Yeah,
butter,
yeah.
they want.
Yeah, to jump and tell somebody that I could go some
Hmm.
back on a labor. Vision,
And
have you had any experience in that department? Like you told somebody, hey, but your song ain't slapping, but you think you need to take a break. Song ain't
Um,
burnt out.
I had conversations with people before, explaining certain things. You know, I find this thing, that thing, and that was actually me in the past. Eh? In the past, I never saw myself as an artist. So I mean, I'm not gonna sing, I'm not gonna write, produce them thing, but I was aiming towards being the guy behind the scenes. And
right.
I used to see all my people around me, do anything, and I like, yo, I like what you're doing. You could probably try this, probably try that. And for the most part, people would generally just be like, okay, yeah, and I guess I understand what you're saying. But sometimes some people might be like, no, what do you mean? Nah, because I try to be very tactful and honest at the same time. Because the last thing I want to do is say, nah, that big tune, and when you run out there, I not playing it. Yeah, I not good and play it again in my ears on my phone. So I try to be honest, and sometimes in doing that, it just strike the wrong nerve, and probably at moments I needed to be a bit more tactful. I don't know, maybe. But you as a person who somebody is coming to for advice, you should understand that that person values your opinion. Yeah,
Yeah.
and if that person value your opinion, you have you are accountable to that person now to give them the right opinion, whether they like it or not. But the truth is the truth. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you can be as tactful as you want, but the bottom line is sometimes it just had to be, nah, I don't like how that song is. And the worst part is be sometimes when people come to you with a song like, hear this tune, hear this tune. Then when you hear this, you know what I mean? They oversell it. And then when you press play, it just goes, yeah.
Like
And
my
then
voice.
you
Like
just
my
sitting down on
voice.
your head
No, like my
shaking.
voice. Like my voice. Don't I don't send Bijan.
Yeah, but
Just go
sometimes,
so.
fellas,
With a,
sometimes people just ask you for your opinion, but for confirmation on something that they think is good, they want you to confirm them. They say yes. What they want is, hey, Bijan, say yes now. This song ain't good. This is it. That's what they want.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Definitely.
But how do you know how you gonna say that is your voice notes, boy? What kind of back thing is it?
I my voice notes are there. When I send your voice notes and I get blue tick, I don't know nothing here working out there. So
Nah.
come
But if there's
again.
one person I can be straight with is Judah, but it's very few times, if any at all, that I didn't
I
send fire
joking.
emojis back to Judah. Yeah, yeah, I know you're joking, but I mean that's what I'm saying. I know we could be blunt. I could be like, nah, Judah, I ain't like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it all depends on the relationship too. Eh? But
yeah,
yeah, yeah. If somebody coming to you for advice, the value your opinion. And then
Yeah, I remember.
on the flip side of it now, you as the person asking for advice, you should understand what our opinion is because it had many times from people who I value their opinion told me certain things about songs that is released right now that people really love and they really didn't like it. You understand? And that's
Yeah.
just to show an opinion is just an opinion is not right or wrong, and each person entitled to their feeling. By the
yeah,
end of the day, you as the person who put out your material, you have the final say. You understand? And that's why you need to make sure what you putting out is something you fully comfortable with. If you're not at all, and you're left right, you're on both sides of the fence, every time you get a negative opinion, you want to hold back, and every time you get a positive opinion, you want to move forward. And you'll just be moving back and forward whole day until you decide what you want to do. Yeah?
Yeah, you need to know
Mm-hmm.
what you're about as well. And everybody have different likes and tastes and sound. I think once the song sonically sounds good and production is good, in terms of that kind of critique, sometimes music is kind of
Mm-hmm.
subjective. Not kind of, it's subjective. There are some songs that people absolutely love, and I
Yeah.
don't. There are songs that I absolutely love, and people, ah, that's okay. So you gotta figure out what is your style as well. And it goes back to not competing with other
Yeah.
people, you know? You judging
So
your style
Yeah.
or your or what you have based upon what that person how that person does sing and how that person does write. That probably that's not you. You had to find
it's
your
true.
own style and you had to find
Mm-hmm.
what suits you as an artist or suits your voice, you know? Yep. That's how it is.
Yeah, for sure.
So
And
what are
I
some of
remember
the
you
things?
paving your own road in anything you're
Mm-hmm.
doing in life. So as you paving your own road, you now making a new lane that has never been there before. Even if you're doing music, whatever you're doing, videography, what production, you go in and write a certain way, shoot videos a certain way, produce a certain way that will be very unique to you, although you're doing the same genre. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And with that in mind, you had to be the captain of the ship. You had to make sure you confident in, hey, I cut in this road, I calling the shots here. If I fail, I fail. If I go left and it looking stupid, I'm going down with my ship.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And sometimes
Confident,
you will
especially
notice
if it's
that
God's calling on your life.
for me, sometimes some artists has not found their own style as yet.
True.
And sometimes they sing in a way that's outside of their own voice, trying to sound like somebody else,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And they're all over the place. So it
I
could
think
cause you to kind of sound off, you know?
that's a big point, you know. Because we as you said, artists again using different voice. That alone could be it have health consequences. You know Whitney Houston, but you going up the road there? Nah. You go damage yourself. You go burn out yourself.
Tell them, come down from there
Co-
Mm-hmm.
come down from there. Just come down from
for
there.
you.
You know? But I mean, even producers as well.
Ah, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Even put for come down from there, brothers. Come down from there. Even like
Enough for
producers
you.
as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just look at different producers. Secular producers, gospel. Well, we don't really have much gospel producers that we could really look up to and say, all right, cool. Yeah. Well, I mean, like out there and established, like who win big Grammys, who do it. This Trinidad we live in. You know what I mean? So,
Mm-hmm.
like, I hear some good productions. And, when I'm producing as well, I used to feel long time. Like, if my music matching up to them boys and them, the big boys, I not ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
And that thing keep me back for years.
You're ready to bamba.
Mm.
come come down from there.
Enough for you, brother.
Yeah. So I mean, trying to mirror what one of the things that I see, like a lot of gospel ministers, producers, we try to mirror other people's success. So you see something trending, you hop on it. No, nah.
Yeah,
I,
for
I,
real.
I now see this one do something there, and it was big in my head. Now I thinking, well, if I do the same thing, listen, it could
A
only
man,
have one you. It could only have one Whitney Houston, Beyonce. I being honest, the world don't really want an ex Beyonce, you know. They appreciate Beyonce for who she is. Let's bring it gospel. Donnie McClurkin. They don't get
Mm-hmm.
accustomed to that. They don't want an next one in that. They want to see you. So I
True.
remember one time Bijan helped me wrote my last song. And when he sent me it,
Mm-hmm.
immediately I said, nah, Bijan. I say, you sing this song now. Or collaborate with me because I find it songing good. And Bijan was, so I record the first take. Man, I practicing. Hearing all Bijan lines and he runs. And I go and be in the booth and I sing it just so. When I send it back for Bijan, Bijan is like, Judah, it is songing like you, man. I know you. I
Mm-hmm.
find you selling the song like that. Me. He said, make the song yours now, man.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, I come down from there and
yes,
do
come
me.
on.
And doing me, I
Mm-hmm.
telling you, I had a ball. So I think trying to mirror other people's success, it will lead to being burnt out as well. You need to
We, we,
find you.
we have
Your
another
question,
question.
sorry.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was not going to focus on the question.
Is that the artist tired, or is it that the artists have some more work to do on the song, probably vocal wise? Yeah, it could be that too.
Yeah.
Vocal training, you know? Yeah, of course.
Yeah. It have many factors, but if you're tired, sometimes one of the characteristics of when an artist is tired is denial. You never want to say you're tired because the ambition and the drive to get the project
Yeah,
out,
but
like, no, you're tired. Let it go, let it do this thing. So
Yeah.
that is be the last thing you're thinking in your head. No, you're not tired. I'm gonna be feeling that kind of way, but now we're moving forward. So when you get
yeah,
that news now that hey, you're tired, that is hit more than telling somebody a little vocal training, a little thing. You know what I mean? But you see, it have a next. Sorry, I don't know if Judah wanted to chime in on the on that same question.
No, no, you go
So
ahead.
it have a next question.
yeah. That one next
What you?
question. That it
It have
had
a
two more
question
questions.
on YouTube now.
Yeah.
So which one you going? Which one you reading, David, on Facebook or YouTube?
Let me read the one on Facebook first, so Judah could answer because it's to Judah.
Okay.
Mr. Judah Peters, you
Okay.
mentioned good production. What is your definition of good production? What elements does it comprise of? Mr.
For
Producer,
me,
yeah.
good production is is just your expression. Good production is your expression. Um, if we want to get a little more technical now, balance. Just say balance, ensuring that you're hearing the instruments. Um, even even if it's a song, ensuring that
Mm-hmm.
the main focus in the song is really the lyrics. So make sure that the lyrics is heard. So all that has to do with balance. For me, is your own taste of what soca is, or your own taste of what reggae is, or
Mm-hmm.
your own taste of what Afro is. You put that thing together, ensure that it balance. If you have a song on it, ensure that people hear in the
Mm-hmm.
song. At least if it mastered,
Yeah.
you get a plus. And that is a good production. It don't
Yeah.
necessarily need to song like my production, because
Mm-hmm.
what a creative does feel on the inside. Sometimes we being like the onlookers then sometimes critiquing that
Mm-hmm.
it 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 just can't match up to what going on inside of a creative mind. There are some rules.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean things like timing, everything in sync. These is the basic instructions that well format that you follow. If you within there and you expressing how you feel, by all means, that is a good production.
As a consumer of
Mm-hmm.
music, somebody who listens to music religiously, for me, when I hear production, just purely from just a consumer, somebody who listens to music, I love to hear the instrumental and the vocals sync together.
Mhm,
Sometimes I know in certain songs I notice that you can hear that the vocals kind of separate from the instrumental. It doesn't have a blend where it syncs like you're doing it together.
mhm.
Nice bass. You know, when I listen to it in my headphones, I like to feel that presence and like I feel like I'm in the studio as well. Um, the song it sounds sweet. The vocals great. The lyrical content of the song is beautiful. It gives me a message. Yeah, that is for me. But
Mm-hmm.
other people could have different criteria. That just basically that is someone who does listen to music. No producer
Yeah.
knowledge yet. Yeah.
So I mean it like
But
just like go ahead, Michelle.
Michelle doing the sorry, Michelle doing the right thing, because what I was going to say is, you as the artist, you as the person producing the product, which is music, you have to be a researcher. And sometimes when you're doing music, you're only focusing on, I like this, I like that, I like this, I like how that sounds.
Is it working?
Now, one of the things they used to do with old school music is, after they make it, and I think talking about like rap and hip hop and that kind of stuff, as soon as they finish in the studio, the same night, not release or anything, export the song, run in a club, play it live, and look at the reactions of the people listening to the music.
True.
You hear people like PDD and these other producers talking about these things, because they understand, as much as he probably like the song in the studio, but he want to see how people reacting to the song now. So as a creator, you need to also open that side of you, that you need to compromise with your listening audience. So when you put out your first song, feel it out, ask for opinions, and you're doing the right thing, as I say. Ask what you consider a good production. Yeah.
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 um Try something completely different for something completely different for your second song. Like, probably try a different producer, try a different genre, try, like, just keep trying different things. And in that, try not to get burnt out, because that is one of the recipes for getting burnt out. If you reach on your
Yeah.
fifth six and you're still not getting the feedback, but after a while you have a collection of research, yeah, that you could now on your eighth song say, well,
Yeah.
no, this is the avenue I want to go down. This is the producer I want to go with. This is the kind of song I want to
Yeah.
write. You know?
Yeah.
And by
You go
that
figure
point
out.
now, you're going to have a
Yeah.
formula. Yeah.
Yes, that is what I'm going to say. They have a formula. Yeah. Like for me and like editing videos and pictures, I finally come across like a set strategy and tactics and stuff that I use consistently how I edit videos, how I lay out certain stuff, and it took me a while to find my own routine. It takes you some time. So once you find that, the process will be much easier. Like before, editing a video would have take me probably some days, like probably a 2 minute video or a ad or something, some days, just trying to figure out put things together. But I finally find my own process. It'll take me probably a couple hours to do. And you find what works for you. Find what works for you. Yeah. That's a good point, Bijan. That will stop you from getting burnt out.
Hmm.
Another point, don't afraid to ask for help. And
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah, buddy.
understand what you capable of as well. What you good at, what you can do. Have a plan. Plan. Don't just do things
Know your
vikey out of
strengths.
the spring
Shout
out
at the
and do
blue.
something. Take on something that you're not equipped to take on.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And
We
and
got our
also
next
with what
Like
question on YouTube
oh yeah.
from Dorian. Sorry, go
white
ahead.
is.
Oh, that's one
Oh, go
point.
ahead with the
And
question.
let me
Yeah,
just
go
say
ahead
this
and
one point
Alright.
that was good question.
yeah.
Yeah, and there's one point here that what I try to do now, don't try to do things too fast or take on too much. What I if I have client work, like if I could get a job done in 4 days, I will tell the client or I'll give it to you in 8 days and stick with your schedule. Make sure that people respect your schedule. Yeah, Bijan, go ahead.
Um, Dorian, Dorian Charles. He
Mhm.
asked on YouTube, where does one strike the balance between having an active church life and an active ministry life outside of your local church to avoid burnout? I want to answer this first. I like this question. The simple answer to that is learn how to say no. Learn how to say no. You would know when you want to be somewhere and when you don't want to be somewhere. You would know what more important and what not as important. I always use me home. When I get married, I understand ministry is not just music, but ministry responsibilities to my house. Say, well, you're calling me out, and I'm probably saying this for the third or fourth time on this show. Why you're calling me out? And I rather be home or I have a prior engagement with my wife or something. You know? Not just, even if it's just to sit down and relax. I had a rough week. Somebody might say, but nah, are you forsaking your God given ministry to go and
Hey,
stay home
hey,
with your
Bijan,
wife?
I ain't gonna lie, you just real try to guilt trip you, you know. I ain't gonna lie. You say all kind of thing, you know.
But if
I,
we calling you, and I mean, I'm not even just talking about church. I mean, the church is definitely a major part, but in
Hmm.
any aspect of life, learn how to say no. You know what I mean? Learn how to say no, and sometimes you have to say no to money too. Yeah, I mean, if somebody calling you out to do, you know you value yourself a certain way, even if they find it ridiculous. They're saying, I really want you to do it, but at this price, you gotta learn to say no because
Yeah.
that's too small.
No, I think Bijan you got cut off.
You hear Bijan?
Uh,
yeah, I realize. Yeah,
I
yeah, you
think
know.
I
Yeah,
had
we
an
hear you.
experience recently where
Alright.
someone contacted me to do a song. Said Judah, you had 24 hours. You is the man. I want a product in 24 hours. Now the money what the person offer is a little more than the standard price. What I would normally charge somebody to do a single song. But I didn't even take into consideration.
Mm,
Normally I would take about a month 2 weeks to a month to do a song. The man gave me 24
Mm.
hours and I didn't double the price. Not even, I can't carry it up much. I maybe carry about $1,000 or so. And I gone in head on. We agree on what we had to agree on. And I gone in head on. Hello. The money was more than the usual. But when I finished that track, I knock out for a whole month. Rack up, rack up.
You knock out
Because
for a month, boy.
knock out. I ain't want no music. I ain't want to see music. I vex. I vex. Because when I finish, the client, the one I next mastered, they're like this.
Ah, boy.
They're
Hey,
like, watch me. You see that there?
be the worst stuff.
That dust, I should have let that dust just
Woo!
blow.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I get flashbacks, eh?
Mhm.
Yes, but
Oh, boy.
so
Hey,
you could get burned out. You could get
Wow,
burned out.
wow, wow.
Watching the little
hey.
dust now, boy.
But that happened to me in I, I got a wedding to shoot, video and photography. It was in Grenada. That was a while ago. And I know it was plenty work here, but the dust was nice. Uh, bro, and I was early in the game, so I didn't really fully understand what I was picking up. That wedding was from that I start shooting from 6 in the morning to 11 in the night. Video, and I had my wife with me at that time, video and photos. My foot's swell up that day. But that was not the hard part. It's to edit all those things and they want it in a certain time. I don't think I even recover from that till this day. I regretted it.
You burn out your own self.
And they're asking
I
for
didn't
multiple
safeguard myself.
edit.
You know, is he safeguarding that? No.
Yeah,
No.
that was like probably about 4 years ago. That changed my whole perspective. I don't play that. I charge only the amount that is fair. And I
David, so
have a
you say
timetable.
you ain't recover yet.
Bro, that's kind of me that and to I edit over 500 photos. The video was probably a half an hour long. And the thing is, at the wedding,
Jeez. You a
I,
director? A movie?
at the wedding, 11 o'clock, they still wanted me to keep recording. I said, oh, what more they want?
We pay you.
I hear whole day.
Oh, yeah, you set up no boundaries.
Yeah, that is the problem.
Ooh,
You
setting
know,
boundaries.
Yeah,
when you
set up
know
no
start off, you're
boundaries.
taking anything. You just, yeah, I do it. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, I could do that.
Hey, holidays are high
That
point.
burned me
Mm.
out. Yeah, that burned me out, bro.
This
That
is a
was
high
the
point.
worst. Yeah,
Yeah. Setting boundaries. I taking
yeah,
away that
bro.
tonight. I want that. Setting boundaries.
Mhm.
You know, like for producers, setting boundaries is having a contract. You could burn out yourself if you don't have a
Mhm.
contract. And it's not really physically burnt out, but mentally.
Yeah, man.
When you finish do a song and you thinking, well, you get a little royalties and take and you say nothing up front. You ain't talk no royalty. Don't expect nobody to give you nothing. When you ain't get nothing, you're mentally burnt out. I would have spoken to over 8 producers since the year start. And most of them saying the same thing. Bro, how to get out of this zone? I find when the artists them come through and they don't get a thing, that I just do what I want. Setting boundaries.
Yeah,
So for producers
definitely.
out there having contracts, that is boundaries.
I don't play that. I don't play that at
Let me
all.
let me add on let me add on that Judah. Let me add, oh, Judah this up. Judah, this is that one right. But let me add to that. I
Yeah.
always you see this boundaries thing. This is why I don't ever have a problem saying no. I just watch it like I always have these analogies, right? So I watch it like let me say you could really make snow cone, right?
Hmm.
You could really make snow cone, and every day after you sell your snow cone, you have a little extra, and you decide to yourself, here what, I'll go in and put a table in front of my house and put 50 snow cones out for the children who just come after school. You ain't put no sign, you just pop one sign, free snow cone. Every evening after school, one child come in and taking all the snow cone, and the one he leaving school early taking all the snow cone, and the others ain't getting, right? So what going on happen now? You watching that and saying, wait, how we gonna do that? But that's where contract and thing is that's where contract and thing is coming. You can
Yeah.
vex with that child who taking all 50. You didn't tell him how much he could take. You understand? And that's the same thing with
Yeah.
us. We can vex with the clients who, like that person who still expect you to
Yeah.
be recording, and Judah can vex with that person who,
Yeah.
wanted to get extra stuff and fix this and fix that. Because we didn't set boundaries. We didn't tell
Never
these
said that.
clients and these people, listen, when I'm doing this, you have this amount to do. And these are things
Hmm.
that come, but you just burn to learn. And that's the purpose of
Yeah.
sound off. You don't
Well,
necessarily need to burn to learn.
yeah,
You
I
could just
got that burn, eh?
learn.
What? That burn was
hmm You don't
tragic.
necessarily have to
Sometimes you
burn.
get burned.
We burn for you.
Yeah. Sometimes
I
you
think we have another
sometimes
question.
you have any question? Yeah, go through, go through.
Yeah. What if you're releasing work on a schedule like 4 times a month and persons are expecting you to release however you're feeling burnt out? What do you do? Bro,
Read it over
hey,
again.
what if you're releasing work on a schedule like 4 times a month and persons are expecting you to release however you're burnt out? I think I get it. Just the person was trying to say like, well, I have a schedule to release 4 times a month, and people looking out for that, but you're burnt out and you can't really release. Keep up with your schedule then. Boy, you
Yeah.
had to you had to change that. Evaluate what you're doing and do something where you could keep up with it. Figure out a proper schedule where you can
Even more
manage.
practical, look at sound off.
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah,
sound
boy.
off. When we came together and said we want to do sound off, we wanted to put out sound off every week. But
Yeah.
it's
Every
just
week.
not practical. You
Nah.
understand? So we give ourselves another week to catch yourself and then
Yeah.
another for me with music now. If I say I want to release 3 songs, I'm not going to announce nothing until I have the song. You know what I mean? And you with whatever product you're doing. Well, is Kilvan asked that question? Big up
Mm-hmm.
Kilvan's kitchen one time. If you're putting out stuff, make sure you have it before you announce it. And sometimes, as David said, you really had to reevaluate and see if it's something you could keep up with. Because without consistency, people just lose interest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have done that. I have boy, I thought I could have keep up with this schedule, but I had to change it up. I can't keep up with that. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
I do like videos on YouTube talking about business and stuff. I realized, bro, I can't. Things got too
Can't keep
busy
up
for me. I said, boy,
every
I have to
Monday.
take a break. You know, when I got back into it, when I felt like, hey, huh, I have some time, I structure some things properly, and I could keep up with that. You know, and there's no problem with saying, hey, This is too much for me. I could do it once a month. Or if I was doing it
Yeah.
4 times for the month, I could do it twice a month.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to continue doing this. If you try to extend yourself beyond your capabilities, you will get burnt out and you won't be able to do anything.
At all.
So it's
Mm-hmm.
better to scale it back a bit than trying to push beyond your capabilities and get burnt out and you have nothing out of it. So yeah, that's what you got to do.
Yeah.
So fellas, we 9:25 inside the game here. I ain't see no more questions.
You talk nice one.
Yeah.
I
It
didn't realize
nice.
it so.
We had some good
Yeah.
we had some nice points today. We had some high points, setting
Mm-hmm.
boundaries, having a
Mm-hmm.
proper
Being
schedule,
realistic.
being realistic. Don't neglect your spiritual life. Get some sleep. As the newly married man on podcast say, if you had to spend time with your wifey, stick with that. Say no, learn to say no. You know, important things.
Mm-hmm.
Don't extend yourself for others. If you're not in good spirits and in not in good health, you won't be able to serve in it. So you really had to
True.
think about your personal space, your mental and physical health. So you would be able to do the work right. So we come to the nice part of the
Nice.
podcast, our artist to watch tonight. Bijan, you had to introduce that person because he's the man.
Yes. Good night, everybody. Do that again, drum roller. Yeah, taking that.
All right, you're taking
I'm
that.
taking
You're
this.
taking. You're taking
I'm
that.
taking that. Taking
You're
this.
taking that.
So the artist to watch tonight is a lady by the name of Michelle, Michelle Augustine.
Yes, Michelle
Yes.
Augustine.
And she has been here with us tonight. And from the first show, she has been here. Yeah. And
Wow.
it's
Yes, yes.
really nice
He
to
has been
see.
consistently here. Give our next clap, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Slow on that thing, but
yeah. And Michelle sent me this song. I think it was a couple of weeks ago. It could probably be about a month ago.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so I'm really pleased and happy to share it with everybody. And one thing I was impressed with is that she also has all her stuff on streaming platforms and she's
Wow.
using Linktree and
I
stuff.
love
So
to
when you
see
click,
artists doing
and there's a
that.
new artist, you're a new
Yeah,
artist
man.
where you're doing all these things. You have your head, you have your photo. Anything I asked for, she would have had it to send. And that's what we need to be doing, and that's the purpose of Song Now. And it's
Yeah,
really
we love to see
commendable.
that. I
So
love to see that.
without further ado, if it was a radio station, I'll say Michelle introduce your song, but here is the artist to watch.
Set me free. Set me free. Set me free.
Yeah.
Yo, we've been on play over that song. We've been on play
Yes,
over
we
that
gonna play
song.
it over. Yeah.
It's a really nice worship song.
Yes.
So before we leave, we just want to say good night to everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you to Michelle. Thank you to who else asked questions? Dorian, Curvan, and all the other viewers. Josiah, you're here every night with me. I know if all you're seeing anybody else. Anybody else out
Um.
there want to shout out? Tandy,
Yeah. Tandy always inside.
yeah. David,
We are here. Yeah.
David, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I'm on mic muted all the time. There's somebody named Ajamu. Say asking, oh,
Ajamu, yeah, yeah, yeah.
what is your view of a good and or bad song? That's purely subjective, to be honest. Yes? If you're talking about in gospel music doctrinal or something, that is another discussion. But
Yeah.
people have different likes, things that they like, and
Yeah,
you know. So yeah. But yep. And to everybody who continuously support this podcast, we pray that we bring value to those who are interested in the music industry, the artists, producers, DJs, everybody. I think the information that we share in here is important to share our experiences, help somebody who probably having difficulties in trying to get involved in the music industry. Don't get discouraged. The information is out there. It's up to you
Yeah.
to push forward and find it, you know. And we are also here to assist anybody who need that information. We're here. So, guys, we're heading out. You know,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Have a
have a
blessed
good
Need
night,
to
night to
set me
everybody.
everybody.
free. Set me free from Michelle one more time. Let the
Yeah,
words,
we're rolling out with that tune. Keep
So
up
when
the
would
good
we
Yeah,
be
work,
man, I
back?
like
Misha.
this song, man. When will we
And
be back?
Yeah. When would
The
we be back?
following,
next, not
the
this, the
following Tuesday.
next day, the following Tuesday.
So it's every 2 weeks, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
So it will be
every
on the
2 weeks.
5th. We'll be back on the 5th of April,
Right.
8 p.m.
Precisely.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Good night, people.
Have a
Later,
blessed night. Yep.
and make sure and share the song.